5 secrets that your professors wish they could tell you but can't. More on that in just a second. Hey, thanks for stopping by to talk about history. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Miller, the Desperate Historian. I want to say thank you to everybody who's liked, subscribed, watched a video, or left a comment. I can't believe that this channel has any subscribers, let alone any views. So, thank you very much for everybody who's tuned in and subscribed to this point. But do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, leave a comment, share this video, share the channel with your friends. Hell, share the channel with your enemies and just annoy them. So, do me a favor, be an early adopter and like and subscribe to this channel, The Desperate Historian. I've had over 20 years of experience teaching and higher education, and there are some things that history professors probably of all disciplines, and probably a lot of high school teachers, most high school teachers, we all know and we think to ourselves, but we just can't say them out loud. So, since I no longer have a full time position, I feel now at liberty to share some of those things out loud. So, I'm literally going to tell some secrets out of school, figuratively let the cat out of the bag. So there are some things that students probably could figure out, but I'm going to share with you now. Number 5, there are some things, believe it or not, that I don't know. I am an expert in some things. I'm an expert on the 19th century United States history, especially on 19th century United States baseball. There's probably very few people in this world, a few dozen who know more on the subject than I do, but there's not a lot. So that's my field of expertise. There are other topics that I don't know much about. I'm not really an expert on sort of the classical world, ancient Greek and ancient Rome. So if I'm teaching a lesson about that topic, and you ask a great question, I probably don't know the answer. There's a good chance I prepped for this lecture or the discussion the night before and read the chapter, reread the chapter, read some articles, maybe watched a documentary right before I left for class. So I probably don't know the answer to that. Now, I am free to admit that a lot of times. I will admit, hey, I don't know. There are some professors, though, their egos are too fragile and they're not willing to admit that they actually don't know something. But there's a lot of things that I don't know. And I'm not afraid to admit that most of the time, especially if it's way out of my field of expertise. So I will say that, hey, I don't know. I'll look up an answer, get it back to you. But one trick that a lot of professors have is to take your question, kind of reformulate it, ask it back out to the class and see if somebody sitting out there actually does know the answer, or if we can just take the conversation to a different direction. And I don't have to admit that I actually don't know something. So that's number 5. Number 4, don't ever ask me, did we do anything important in class that I missed? That will really tick a professor off. Don't ever ask, hey, did we do anything important in class that I missed? Yeah, every class is important. A lot of classes will only meet 16 times. Some classes will only meet 8 times. I put a lot of time into prepping a lecture or discussion. Maybe if it's a 3-hour class, I might have spent 6 hours prepping for that class, or if it's an hour and a half, 2-hour class, probably again double the time to prepare for that class. So if you really want to annoy a professor or a teacher, don't ever ask them, did we do anything important in class? Yeah, every class is important. Number 3, and I'm sure that there's a lot of teachers and professors out there who are going to agree with me on this one. Your question that you're asking, it's on the goddamn syllabus, okay? The same question that you've asked 1,000 times, the same question that your classmate just asked. I know you claim that it's not, but it's on the syllabus. Believe me, it's on the syllabus, okay? So uh, take time to make sure that your question is not answered on the syllabus before asking. I'm happy to answer questions, but a lot of times I've answered that question before and it's on the syllabus. And the syllabus, remember this document? This document right here that we spent the whole first class going over. We read it aloud to each other. I shared it with you in a physical copy like this, posted it online. You took a quiz over it. Then you signed a document saying that you received the syllabus and understand it and so forth. And you claim that the answer to your question is not on the syllabus. Yeah, it's on page 3 here, right? It's right here. I know this syllabus like the back of my hand. So, yeah, your question, it's on the syllabus. Number 2, this is not to all my students, it's just to a few of you. I know you're cheating. I just can't prove it, okay? And I really don't want to do all the paperwork and deal with the red tape of trying to prove that you're cheating. I know you're cheating. I just can't prove it. Especially when you're using AI. I know you're cheating. Um, and there's a lot of red flags that show up. When those fancy GRE words show up, the ones that I have to look up, I don't know what they mean. I'm like, okay, you're probably using AI. When I start to see undergraduates, first year students using words like alacrity, juxtapose, diaspora, hegemonic, stratification, yeah, those are red flags if you don't really know what you're talking about and used AI to write this paper. AI has also got some other just telltale signs. First of all, it's soulless. You can just tell there's no heart in the writing. There's no voice in the writing. A lot of the AI papers they come out sort of the same way every time. Um, so it's soulless, repetitive. A lot of times there's factual errors. There's still a lot of grammatical errors in AI, it still makes a lot of mistakes. It tends to form things the same way, and it tends to try to sort of feign objectivity or fake objectivity, where it's sort of like, well, on this issue there are many important considerations, and there's this one side, and then on this other side, so it's pretty easy to spot. But since we're not in a place where we have the software to prove it yet, I can't prove it. I'm not going to accuse you of cheating, but I know you're cheating. So that's the next one. Okay, the last one, the number one secret that I can't tell a class, but now I can since I'm not full time teaching anymore. But that professor that you're all complaining about and that you're all gossiping about and you can't stand? Guess what? I don't like them either, but as a professional, I can't say that. So there are professors that you're all complaining about. You think the professor is boring, unfair, has you do busy work, is stupid, creepy, lazy, pompous, arrogant. Yeah, I think the same thing, but I can't tell you that, okay? So the same professor that you don't like because I'm a professional, I'm not going to tell you that, yeah, maybe I don't like them either. If you are a professor or a teacher, leave a comment below about some things that you wish you could tell students, but just can't. Do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button, and maybe I'll tell some more secrets out of school here. Until then, I'll see you next time on The Desperate Historian.